Hey, it's Dre, and this is 20 something surviving bills.
Yeah. Grips on your waist from way back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away, even when I'm away. OT, OT. There's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray. That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time, but I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance.
So for the first DIY, you will need some black pegs, you will need some coloured rope, and also a big white board with some rope and also some coloured paper. Altogether, these things were about $15. You can get them from anywhere, the Warehouse, Kmart, anywhere in your local supermarket. So as you can see, I've got the white pegs to start with, and I'm just using a white Twinks to write on my little pegs. So as you can see, I'm just laying them out here, and I'm writing the days of the weeks on them. So the first day that I get paid is a Saturday, so I'm just popping an S on there to represent Saturday, as you can see there. And this just goes on. So here are all the necessary letters for a 2-week pay. So I started by placing 2 different coloured pegs at the start and the end of my board, and then I proceeded to add the days of the week on the rest of my board. So they're all in order, looking nice. And then on one piece of paper, I write down the amount of income that I made for those 2 weeks and how much I have to last me for 2 weeks. Now, if you're in a flatting situation, this could also work for you. So I suggest writing down the name of each person in your flat. So for me, it would be my flatmate Evans and his 2 lovely dogs, and then writing down how much each individual is giving towards the flat account or the flat bills. I would then fold that little piece of paper up and pop it at the start of your board. So the next thing I've done is I've cut all my coloured paper into different squares. You don't have to use coloured paper, you can use white paper as well. I just think coloured paper sort of works as a decoration. So what you're going to do with these little pieces of paper is you are going to write down what bill you need to pay. So this is at the start of the week. So right at the front of the piece of paper, what you need to pay. For instance, if you have rent to pay, write down rent or food bill or shoes that you need or anything that you basically need, and you should just write that at the front. And now I'm just demonstrating. So after you have written on the front of the piece of paper, at the back of the paper, I'd suggest writing down how much you need to pay for rent. And so the first thing I do is pay rent on my Saturday when I get paid. And then after I've paid my rent, then I write down at the back of that piece of paper as well how much money I have left out of my whole pay, and that'll almost follow you through till the end.
I gotta pay, so I'm gonna work every day. I got mouths, I gotta feed, so I'm gonna make sure everybody eats. I got bills, all these bills pile up on my desk, they looking like a mess.
So I wrote down all the necessary bills that I know are coming up and that I know I need to pay more frequent. So on Monday I have an internet and power bill that comes out, and then on Friday my phone bill, Thursdays are my car, and so forth. So I've written at the back of each of these cards how much is going out, and I also have work shoes and a party on Friday. So we'll see how that goes, see if I have enough money left. And that is how I put it all together, and I think it looks quite nice, almost like a decoration for your room. So with the string, I want you to decide what color will be the most important. So it goes from bills that need to be paid urgently to medium need and then low need of payment. So I'm using purple as a low need, so I'm tying that around a Friday for my party, just to remind myself that it isn't that important. I don't need to buy anything for this party. I've got enough clothes. I don't need to drink. So it's just to remind myself, okay, but if I have money left, I can spend a little bit more on that. So that's just to prioritize. So for my rent, I popped on a pink ribbon just to remember that it's important and it needs to be paid. Work shoes, medium importance. I've got work shoes, but it is for work, so it is quite necessary. And then for my party, I've got a purple just to remind myself that it isn't that important and I don't need to spend money. So that is how it looks with the little bows. So it is always important to remember yourself and to treat yourself. So for the last peg, I always suggest putting something of inspiration. So I've put a plane ticket, like an old plane ticket of mine, at the last peg to remind myself that, okay, whatever money is left, I can put towards my travel needs for the future, and just to remind myself that it all is worth something, all these paying bills and all this money problems. And before I forget, if you are living in a flatting situation, the last peg can be used as something the flat is working towards, such as weekly bills, or if the flat want to have, a flat gathering by any chance. If the first tip seemed like too much work, then the next one is pretty simple. All you need is some rope and some sort of big container or organizer that you can put the rope to show the color, and that's pretty much all you need for that one. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You cut the rope of the color you want the certain box to be. To prioritize, so I'm using red as my most important bills and bills that need to be paid urgently, and yeah, I'm just tying them in a little bow in the box. So this is the finished product. So green represents my bills that don't need to be paid as quickly, yellow is medium bills, and then red is my most important. So as you can see, opening it up to show, bills go in there, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. I think this one turned out really nice, and I think it looks really nice in an office area.
So that was surviving paying bills. It won't necessarily help you actually pay the bills, but it's easy ways to keep them organized and to just keep everything in place. With the last one, with the bows, the box, I would suggest setting alarms on your phones to remind you when to pay them, but it's a nice way to organize them from importance, and it's also a nice way a place to keep them. I always suggest printing out your bills, because emails, I am so bad with reading my emails, so I always print them out as soon as I get them, and emails get lost, so you just pop them in the top one, the bottom one, wherever they go, and it's a really, really great organization tip. The first one I am loving. I think it's a great way to remember. So the first thing I see when I wake up is what my next bill is, and then I know how much money I have left for the rest of the week, and also it's a nice way to remember what you're working for. And yeah, so that was my surviving paying bills. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all next week with another survival tool. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.